Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video, I'd like to share with you how I got my furniture crafting up to level 200. A few important things about furniture in New World, and maybe why, if you hadn't wanted to level it, maybe you should. So let's get into it. So furniture in New World can be a very rewarding and fun profession. You can make decorations to customize your home, or sell them to others so they can customize their homes. You can also make trophies, which are very important to the game in every way. From combat to gathering, everyone will be seeking a max level furniture to craft them for them. Storage chests are also made by furnishers, and everyone knows that storage space in New World is a constant issue. So being able to craft top-end storage chests for yourself and your company, or even to sell for a nice profit, will be an invaluable ability. But what a lot of people don't realize is furniture makers also craft incense. These increase your resistance to all afflictions by a certain amount depending on their tier, and can really take the edge off later game content while farming watermark or doing dungeons. So let's begin by looking at leveling. To begin, from 0 to 53, for this stage we'll be making round sunny rugs. The reason I went with this here is because the price of stain is rising in price like crazy, and using crossweave, which is still very cheap and easy to get, will save you some headache early on, and you will have enough of that later. You will need 2,730 linen, 910 crossweave, and 910 fibers. Once you have gathered these, which won't take long at all, you will be making 182 round sunny rugs, from 53 to 102. At this stage, I switched to stone cairns. These give an unimpressive amount of experience per craft, but are crafted using all gathered materials. The bonus here is if you are stuck on a server where the price of regions has risen, then you don't need to worry about it at all, as these take none. The most costly part of this is the earth motes, which honestly can be farmed without issue. You will, however, need to purchase the schematic from the market, but it is generally 1 to 10 gold, so this should not be a big issue. You could also make tree stump side tables here. A lot of people like doing this, but my goal was to come up with items for people to craft using as little regions as possible along the way. So here's what we are looking at. Taking into consideration different trade skill bonuses that offer you bonus materials for your regions consumed, and remember, furniture at this moment does not. When you make stains, you get no bonus, so we will avoid that where possible. To make the needed stone cairns, you will have to have at the minimum 1 stone brick, 1,606 steel ingots, and 3,212 earth motes. When you make these, you will receive your stone brick back at salvage, so you won't need more than 1. However, to make things easier, let's say we need 100, so you can at least craft 100 before you need to salvage per sitting. So your total required regions here will be roughly 950 flux for the steel ingots, because you will get almost 35% bonus steel ingots while making them. Now, on the other hand, if you prefer to go with the stump end tables, you are looking at 5,635 lumber, 1,932 solvent, and 80 oil. And when salvaged, you will only receive back roughly 1 to 5 lumber. So you're looking at a total of 2,880 sandpaper, 1,932 solvent, because you won't receive any bonus while making maple stain. So you can see, although you will be making many more stone cairns, the lower cost along with the salvage net gains make them by far the better choice from my perspective. From 102 to 147. Now we have reached the point in furnishing that requires some heavy level of investment. At this stage, you will have 2 options really, the oak stain and the powder horn. The oak stain will require a heavy investment of 28,286 potent solvent and 11,316 oil. This is what you will need to make 2,829 oak stain, which is the amount you will need to craft in order to get to 147 and move on to your next stage. On the other hand, with the powder horn, you will need 2,257 beeswax and 6,780 gunpowder. The required animal horns you will get back on salvage, so that we won't count in our totals. These materials will make the required 452 powder horns needed to reach our goal of 147. Now, we must also take into account that because of people thinking this is the optimal route, the price of the powder horn schematic has skyrocketed to almost 5,000 gold just to learn it, unless you get very lucky and loot it on your own. Beeswax, at this moment on my server, is 10 gold per, for the cheapest. However, no one has posted large quantities, so we can't simply look at the cheapest and say, okay, it's 10 gold. After purchasing roughly 300, the price goes up to 12, then 15, then 20, and so on. So you will either need to farm all 2,257 on your own, which will be a monumental task considering trees give beeswax on about a 3:6 ratio from my testing, or you craft a few at a time and level it slowly. If you level it slowly and cap yourself at 10 gold, you're looking at 22,570 gold for the beeswax, for the sake of argument, but remember, this will take you weeks to finish under this restriction. However, with the stain, you're looking at 5,687 gold for the solvent on my server's current 0.20 solvent market. However, this as always fluctuates up to 0.50. So let's say, for the sake of argument, it'll cost you 10,000 gold for the solvent. And for the oil, 6,000 gold because it's stable at 0.50. That's a total of 16,000 gold for this part using the stain method. Oil is much easier to farm than beeswax, so for that I would farm most of it, if not all of it, to save that 5,000 to 6,000 gold, because this could be done in a couple of days if not less in Weavers. I included both of these because every server has a very different economy. So if your server has cheap beeswax, or you can get the schematic for the powder horn cheap, go with the horn. Otherwise, I still believe going with the oak stain is your best option here. From 147 to 200. Here again, we are faced with two options. What you choose will require some research of your market. Option 1. The curved maritime rug. This schematic you will have to buy, but it is common, and generally will only cost you 10 to 50 gold on any market. I realize on super low pop dead servers, this may not be the case, which is why I am covering both options. For this, you will need 42,212 silk, 14,075 crossweave, and 14,075 silk fibers. This will make you the required 2,815 rugs you will need to make in order to reach 200. This seems horrible, but I have demonstrated in my tanning video where I showed you how to turn 5,000 rawhide into 40,000 using the proper gear and proper tannin. This same exact principle applies to weaving. I won't get into breaking it all down here, but there is a link in the description to that video. You will also receive back a large quantity of the silk when you're salvaging these rugs. So you will roughly need about 34,000 crossweave because of the bonuses from the weaving for regions. On my server, crossweave is worth almost nothing, so I recommend this method. However, if on your server this is not the case, you may want to consider option 2. And what is option 2? Option 2 is the tried and true mahogany stain. To make this, you will need 50,260 pure solvent and 20,100 oil. This is the required materials to make the 5,026 stain in order to reach 200 furnishing. There are no bonuses here or ways to turn your reagents into more materials, so flat out this is what you will need. The reason I do not any longer recommend this method is because everyone uses it, so the price currently on pure solvent is crazy high. It will run you almost 60k just for the solvent alone. So unless you get lucky and place a low buy order that fills, I can't recommend this method any longer. Now to cover the powder horn before I get comments saying use it until 200. You will need 3,351 powder horns to reach your desired goal of 200. So you're looking at 16,751 beeswax, and with the current market, you're looking at almost 200k gold to complete this stretch on powder horns, and that is not even considering the tax to craft them. I also want to say these options at each stage are just a guideline. While you're playing, you are going to see prices fall and rise, so there's no reason for each stage you can't combine and alternate between the items to maximize your experience per gold, as the prices shift and you gather materials on your own. And finally, congratulations, you're now a 200 furniture maker. Now let's see what you can use it for. Now that you have maxed your furniture level, your work is not over. Your next step will be to head out to Weaver's Fen, Morningdale, and any other place you like to farm large chests. This will be how you get your schematics. These are important because a lot of the most desirable crafted furniture you can only learn from schematics. There are a couple of widely known, really good routes that you can take. I'll show them to you now. First, there is one in Weaver's Fen. You basically start from the bottom shrine and loot every large chest along the route to the other shrine. Then, upon reaching this shrine, teleport back to the start and repeat. The run takes roughly the same amount of time it takes for the chests to respawn lootability, so it works perfect for this. There's also this one, up in Morningdale. Pretty much the same story, just start from the shrine, looting every large chest along the route, to the other one, then repeat. Another reason you're going to be wanting to do this is for the rare items that will, like the rabbit's foot, unlock higher tier trophy recipes for you to craft. These trophy recipes are a one-time craft that you can only make when the item is present in your inventory, so keep an eye out for those from these chests as well. I will demonstrate how trophy upgrading works using the materials I had on hand, but it is the same for all types of trophies. First, I have a minor beast trophy, nothing special. I have these items in my bag, so now I can craft a basic trophy. Now, with the basic trophy plus the claw, I can craft a major trophy. You see, you need all the mats from each tier to upgrade one trophy from minor to major. But it does look good in my home. I'll now demonstrate a couple more trophies so you can see the process. Incense is also a great thing to craft, especially at max level furniture, because then you can make the highest tier one available. This is an amazing buff for any player, no matter the content they are playing. They are pretty amazing to make and have on hand for yourself, and the easy to farm mats to make them a great item to sell. There are a few secret recipes available for a furniture maker to decorate their home or sell. These include the straw pet bed. This is a great addition to your home. It has a feeding bowl and a bed. It looks great to set your dog on. You gain access to this recipe when you have the fluffy stuffing artifact in your inventory. The target dummy. This is exactly what it sounds like, a target dummy for your home. It looks great in your yard, however, it is a little disappointing, as it is not functional like the ones you can find in the outposts. So yeah, Amazon, let's get these functional so we can play with our builds and test things in our homes, please. You gain access to this recipe by looting the dummy frame artifact item and the bear pelt rug. This one I especially like. It looks great in front of your fireplace, and you can gain access to this recipe when you have the pristine bear pelt artifact in your inventory. And finally, the skull candle holder. This item looks amazing. It is a pirate's skull with an eye patch with candles on top. It looks great in any home. And you gain the ability to craft this when you have the ancient skull artifact in your inventory. Anyway, I hope this guide has helped some of you out there who may be stuck on where to go next with furnishing. And I just want you to know, it seems rough, but it is worth it, so press on. Okay guys, I think I will begin work on weaponsmithing next, so I hope some of you will be looking forward to that one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.